It is a well established scientific fact that stress, particularly chronic stress, has a profound impact on our health, affecting us at a genetic level. Stress hormones, primarily cortisol and adrenaline, can down regulate genes, leading to imbalances and potentially causing disease. This understanding places significant importance on how we manage stress in our lives. Human beings, unique in their cognitive capabilities, can activate the stress response by mere thought. Dwelling on past experiences or fretting over future uncertainties can trigger a physiological response similar to facing actual physical threats. This ability, though evolutionarily advantageous in some situations, has significant implications in our modern lives, where physical survival threats are less frequent. The fact that thought alone can trigger a stress response and subsequently affect our genetic expression leads to an important realization. Our thoughts have the power to make us sick. In a world where stressors are more psychological than physical, the constant activation of this stress response can have detrimental effects on our health. It can contribute to a range of diseases from heart conditions to mental health issues. This understanding brings to light the power of the mind body connection. If negative thoughts can elicit harmful responses in the body, it raises the question of whether positive thoughts can promote healing and well being. This possibility opens up an exciting realm of exploration in how we can consciously use our thoughts to influence our physical health positively. The relationship between stress and disease is not just a one-way street. It's a dynamic interaction where our mental state continuously influences our physical health and vice versa. Recognizing this interplay is crucial in developing strategies for managing stress and improving overall health. By understanding the mechanisms through which stress affects our body, we can begin to devise methods to counteract these effects. The implications of this knowledge are vast. It suggests that managing stress and cultivating a positive mental state are not just beneficial for mental health, but are essential for physical health. This understanding shifts the focus from external factors in disease management to internal factors, emphasizing the role of mental and emotional well being in maintaining physical health. The phenomenon of stress addiction is a critical aspect of understanding the human response to chronic stressors. When individuals experience the rush of adrenaline and other stress hormones, they can unwittingly become addicted to these chemicals. This addiction is not just a metaphorical one, it has tangible biochemical underpinnings. The constant state of alertness and heightened response becomes a norm, leading people to subconsciously seek out thoughts or situations that perpetuate this state of stress. This cycle of stress addiction has profound implications for personal well being. It means that individuals can become accustomed, even dependent, on the state of heightened alertness and emotional arousal that stress provides. This can lead to a situation where people are perpetually living in survival mode, always on the lookout for potential threats and challenges, whether real or perceived. When one is addicted to stress, their perspective on life can become skewed. The focus shifts to external stimuli and stressors, often at the expense of internal growth and well being. This state of constant vigilance can make it extremely difficult to relax, to engage in introspection, or to embrace change. It becomes a self perpetuating cycle where individuals are trapped in a life they may not enjoy but feel powerless to change. In survival mode, the unknown becomes a source of fear and anxiety rather than an opportunity for growth and exploration. The human brain, wired to protect and survive, perceives any uncertainty or unfamiliar situation as a potential threat. This perception makes it challenging to step out of one's comfort zone, to experiment with new ideas, or to embrace change. The irony of stress addiction is that while it is a response developed to ensure survival, it can paradoxically lead to situations that are detrimental to health and well being. People caught in this cycle often find themselves in a constant state of anxiety, worry, and tension, which can have serious long term health implications, including the development of chronic diseases. Breaking free from the cycle of stress addiction requires a conscious effort to reorient one's focus and responses. It involves recognizing the patterns of thought and behavior that contribute to this state and actively working to change them. This change is not just about managing external stressors, but also about addressing internal responses and attitudes towards stress. One effective strategy for breaking the cycle of stress addiction is mindfulness and meditation. These practices help in developing a heightened awareness of one's thoughts and responses, providing the tools to manage and redirect them towards more positive and healthy patterns. Through regular practice, individuals can learn to recognize the signs of stress addiction and take proactive steps to counteract them. Another important aspect of overcoming stress addiction is developing healthier coping mechanisms. This involves identifying activities and practices that promote relaxation and well being, such as exercise, hobbies, or spending time in nature. Engaging in these activities can help counterbalance the effects of stress and provide a more holistic approach to managing life's challenges. Living in a constant state of survival mode significantly impacts an individual's capacity for creativity, introspection, and personal growth. When the body and mind are perpetually geared towards survival, the focus is primarily on external threats and challenges, with little room left for internal development or creative thinking. This mode, driven by fear and the anticipation of danger, leads to a narrowed perspective where potential opportunities for growth are overshadowed by the perceived need for immediate defense. The human brain, especially the primitive part known as the limbic system, is hardwired to respond to perceived threats with a fight, flight, or freeze response. In survival mode, this response is heightened, leading to a hypervigilant state where every unfamiliar situation is treated as a potential danger. This constant state of alertness can be exhausting, both mentally and physically, and it stifles the ability to engage in higher order thinking processes like creative problem solving or imaginative thinking. The effects of survival mode extend beyond the immediate physiological responses. When individuals are stuck in this mode, they are less likely to engage in activities that foster personal growth, such as reflective thinking, meditative practices, or the pursuit of new and challenging experiences. The mindset of survival is inherently conservative, focused on maintaining the status quo and avoiding risk, which is antithetical to the nature of creativity and exploration. An example from my own experience illustrates this point vividly. On a dark evening, as I walked through a secluded path, an unexpected noise triggered an acute stress response. In that moment, my entire focus narrowed to identifying the potential threat. This response is a clear demonstration of how survival mode engages the brain's focus on immediate threats, pushing aside any inclination towards creativity or introspection. In such a state, the idea of creating something new or opening up to the unknown becomes not just unappealing, but also seemingly irrational. The survival instinct convinces the individual that it's not safe to venture into the unknown or to open oneself up to new possibilities. This mindset can lead to a life that is restricted and confined, devoid of the richness that creativity and exploration bring. The challenge, then, is to shift out of this survival mode and to cultivate a mindset that embraces creativity, openness, and vulnerability. This shift is not just about changing how one reacts to external events, but also about transforming internal belief systems and emotional responses. It requires a conscious effort to move beyond fear driven responses and to embrace a more expansive, growth oriented approach to life. One effective way to facilitate this shift is through practices that promote mindfulness and presence. By becoming more aware of our automatic responses and learning to pause before reacting, we can start to break the cycle of survival mode. This awareness creates space for new responses and behaviors that are more aligned with creativity and growth. Additionally, actively seeking out new experiences and challenges can help in breaking free from survival mode. Engaging in activities that are outside one's comfort zone, whether it's learning a new skill, traveling to unfamiliar places, or simply changing daily routines, can stimulate the brain in new ways and encourage a more creative and open mindset. Living under the constant shadow of stress presents a significant barrier to creativity and personal growth. When our lives are dominated by stress, especially the kind that stems from survival instincts, our capacity for creativity, openness, and embracing change is severely hindered. The survival instinct, deeply ingrained in our psyche, compels us to focus on external threats and problems, often at the expense of internal development and exploration. In a stress dominated life, the unknown is not just uninviting, it's perceived as a direct threat. This perception stems from the basic human instinct to survive, which prioritizes safety and familiar routines over uncertain and potentially risky endeavors. This survival mode triggers a series of physiological responses designed to deal with immediate threats, but at the cost of long term creative and intellectual growth. The state of constant alertness and preparedness that comes with stress addiction narrows our focus and limits our ability to think expansively or creatively. It's a mental state where immediate concerns and potential dangers overshadow any inclination towards exploring new ideas or engaging in creative pursuits. This mindset is fundamentally reactive, focused on responding to external stimuli rather than proactively seeking personal growth and fulfillment. My personal experience offers a vivid illustration of this dynamic. On a routine walk through familiar surroundings, a sudden, unexpected sound triggered an immediate stress response. In that moment, my entire focus narrowed to identifying and responding to the potential threat, illustrating how survival mode can sharply focus our attention on immediate concerns, sidelining any creative or expansive thinking. This survival oriented focus is not conducive to creative activities, which require a sense of safety, openness, and the willingness to explore the unknown. Creativity thrives in environments where risks can be taken without immediate fear of danger or threat. However, when we are living in a state of constant stress and survival mode, our brain is programmed to avoid these very situations. Overcoming the challenges posed by a stress dominated life requires a conscious effort to reorient our focus and foster an environment conducive to creativity. This involves recognizing the patterns of thought and behavior that keep us in survival mode and actively working to modify them. It's about shifting from a mindset of reactivity and fear to one of proactivity and curiosity. Developing practices that promote relaxation and mental well being is crucial in this endeavor. Activities like mindfulness meditation, deep breathing exercises, and engaging in hobbies that bring joy can help recalibrate the mind and body away from the stress response. These practices not only provide immediate relief from stress, but also help cultivate a mental state where creativity can flourish. Embracing new experiences and stepping out of comfort zones are also vital in breaking free from the constraints of a stress dominated life. Actively seeking opportunities for growth, learning, and exploration can stimulate the brain in new ways, encouraging a shift towards a more creative and open mindset. The concept of healing through thought alone, extending beyond the realm of placebos, is a profound revelation in understanding the power of the human mind. The placebo effect demonstrates how belief and expectation can lead to real physiological changes. However, the potential to harness this power without any external placebo suggests an even more profound capacity within us for self healing and transformation. This realization leads to an exploration of how we can tap into our inner resources and the quantum field to initiate healing. The process goes beyond just replacing a physical pill with a mental one. It involves deeply engaging with the potential within ourselves, embracing possibilities that go beyond our current realities, and aligning our thoughts and emotions with these envisioned possibilities. By doing this consistently, we can rewire our autonomic nervous system and recondition our bodies towards a new state of being. This shift is not merely about positive thinking, but involves a profound transformation in our belief systems and emotional responses. It requires envisioning a future where health and well being are not just hoped for, but are expected and believed in with conviction. The theory of healing through thought alone aligns with quantum physics, which posits that our perception and beliefs play a crucial role in shaping our reality. In this context, healing becomes not just a physical process, but a quantum one, where thoughts and emotions interact with a field of possibilities to create tangible changes in our physical health. Psychoneuroimmunology, the study of the interaction between psychological processes and the nervous and immune systems, provides scientific backing to this concept. It shows how mental states can significantly influence physical health, affirming the potential of thought and emotion in initiating healing responses in the body. In our approach, we encourage individuals to apply these principles in their lives, moving beyond reliance on external aids. We guide them to tap into their inner healing potential, using thoughts and emotions as tools for fostering health. This involves daily practices that align mental and emotional states with the desired outcome of health and wellness. These practices are not just about managing symptoms, but about initiating a deeper change in one's state of being. Regular engagement in these practices mirrors the discipline of taking medication in traditional treatments, but is rooted in self generated change and empowerment. This method of healing represents a paradigm shift from the traditional medical model. It empowers individuals to explore their intrinsic ability for self healing, realizing that they have the power to influence their health through their mental and emotional states. By internalizing and practicing the principles behind the placebo effect, individuals can achieve significant health improvements. It involves reconditioning the mind and body to adopt a new belief system that promotes health and well being. By doing so, individuals can transcend the limitations of traditional medical models and tap into their innate capacity for self healing. Therefore, the placebo effect serves as more than just a model for understanding the power of the mind and healing. It's a gateway to recognizing our innate ability to influence our physical state through our thoughts and emotions. This model encourages individuals to explore their capacity for self healing and to realize the transformative power they hold within.